Imagine waking up tomorrow and petrol prices double, stock markets crash, and inflation explodes worldwide. Sounds like a financial nightmare, right? But this is exactly what experts fear if the Iran-Israel conflict involving the United States keeps escalating. This isn't just a military war. It's a $1 trillion financial war that could reshape the global economy. Most people see the conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States as just another geopolitical fight in the Middle East. But behind the missiles and headlines, something much bigger is happening. Oil markets are shaking, global stock markets are losing trillions, inflation risks are rising worldwide. In fact, within just a few days of escalation, global equity markets lost around $3.2 trillion in value. So today we'll break down the real disadvantages of this conflict, who is losing the most financially, how it could affect your money, fuel prices, and investments, why this conflict is so dangerous. To understand why this war matters financially, you need to know about one location: the Strait of Hormuz. This narrow waterway controls about 20% of the world's oil supply, passing through it every day. If this route gets blocked because of war, oil shipments stop, fuel prices surge, inflation skyrockets worldwide, and we're already seeing the impact. Oil prices recently surged above $90 per barrel as tensions escalated between Iran, Israel, and the United States. Some analysts even warn oil could reach $120 to $150 per barrel if the conflict worsens. That would push fuel prices, food costs, and transport costs up everywhere. The financial cost of war is not just deadly. It's incredibly expensive. Let's look at the numbers. Israel alone could spend around $200 million every single day during a prolonged conflict. Within just the first 2 days of fighting, costs reached roughly $1.45 billion. And that's only direct military costs. Each missile interception can cost hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. Meanwhile, Iran is also facing billions in infrastructure damage and economic losses from disrupted oil exports. But here's the shocking part: the United States may face the biggest financial risk. Why? Because history shows that American wars are extremely expensive. For example, the Iraq War alone cost the U.S. more than $2 trillion. And today the U.S. already has over $37 trillion in national debt. Another major Middle East war could strain the economy even further. Global markets are already reacting. When conflicts like this happen, financial markets react immediately. And we're already seeing the warning signs. Stock markets dropped sharply, oil prices surged, investors moved money into safe assets. For example, the Dow Jones fell hundreds of points as oil surged and tensions increased. And according to economic models, the conflict has already increased global economic instability by about 4%. Why? Because war disrupts three critical things: energy supply, global trade routes, investor confidence. When those three are shaken, markets panic. How this could impact ordinary people. You might be wondering, why should I care about a war thousands of kilometers away? Because conflicts like this affect everyday life worldwide. Here's how. Fuel prices rise, food prices increase, shipping costs go up, stock markets become volatile. Even countries far away, like India, could face higher import bills because they rely heavily on oil imports. And higher oil prices mean transport costs rise, electricity costs rise, inflation rises. In simple terms, a war in the Middle East can make your groceries more expensive. The biggest risk, a global economic shock. The worst-case scenario is not just a regional war. It's a global economic shock. If oil supply is heavily disrupted and the conflict spreads, global markets could crash, inflation could surge worldwide, governments may increase military spending. In fact, some analysts say a prolonged conflict could cause a major global recession if energy markets collapse. This is why financial markets watch the Middle East so closely. So here's the real question. Is this just another conflict, or the beginning of a global financial storm? Because history shows something very clear. Wars don't just change borders. They change economies, markets, and the future of money. I want to know what you think. Comment below. Will this conflict trigger a global recession, or will markets survive it? And if you want to understand the hidden financial forces shaping the world, subscribe now to Keystone 360. Because here, we don't just talk about money. We reveal how global events secretly control your financial future.